Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to her show. This is doing well. Having a wonderful day on this 15th February 2025. Oh, where's my bottle? Can have a thirsty boy on camera, right? Nazdrovia. Today we're doing a mega episode of One Piece. When I say mega, I'm talking about from 62 to 79. To 79. Yeah. So the reason why we're doing that is because soon One Piece will not be on Netflix anymore. So kind of watching all I can before it goes out, if I can do it. If I can do it, if I can't, I cannot. So there's a lot to talk about. But yeah, super excited, super excited to talk about it. We also have to do. There's three. Okay, so yeah, we have a lot to do today. Okay, so let's hurry up. We got number 62. We got the conclusion to the filler arc. We have the dragon arc we had before with Lapis and Eric. We have Eric versus Luffy, which is super cool because once again, Luffy changed. Luffy's a complete mess, and Eric managed to get on the boat. We're not sure as to why he gets on the boat. I think it's for revenge, but it could be for more. I think he wanted to get. It's not clear. It's not clear. It's not a payoff. Like for example, I remember playing this game, which is completely nonsensical, but still, Dragon Quest 11, and you have this boat, and one of your friends is on that boat, and you just forget his memories. So like, what are you doing here? And it's like, oh, I don't know. But there's a payoff. Here, there's no payoff. The crew once again believe in Luffy, which is super cool because they don't even get in, and they're just like, oh, Luffy will win. Luffy will win. Luffy is the best, which is really cool because yes, it's about One Piece, but the main character is King of the Pirates, which is Luffy, right? Or not? Maybe I'm wrong. We don't know until the end. Maybe the main character is Shanks. Who knows? We have Lapis good ending, which is the good ending for her was Luffy was like, yo, you want to come to my crew? And it's weird because a lot of these characters and fillers are going to be added to the crew. So, for example, you add Crocus, which is a doctor. You know Crocus. And he wanted to add Lapis. So he's looking for Namaka at any single, at every single corner, I guess. Feels good. We had the good ending, which is her staying behind and saying, you know what, this is my life. This is to research Dragon, right? And people are like, yo, but she want to help Dragon, but she's like, they won't need your help for another 1,000 years. She's like, but the more I learn, the more I can teach my kid, and the more my kids can help them, which I thought was amazing. It's the good ending. She gets what she wants. Eric is back, but useless, right? Reached the top of the mountain, saying each crew dream. And what is really cool is, although the each crew dream being mentioned, it's not as powerful as on the barrel, but it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty it's still pretty cool, to be honest. I really enjoyed it because it's like, okay, well, this is confirmed. And a lot of people are dissing Usopp Dream, but what I like here is not even like in 10 chapters, this dream is gonna be solidified. So we got 63 and 64 together, right? Because they're smaller. So because I was watching more, I was like, okay, well, I don't have to write as much because it's not like, oh, I watched one episode and I have to make a video with one episode. I have a lot of episodes to do, so it's still gonna be a good video, regardless. My hairs are messy, dude, but you know what? This is the best I can do for today. So, oh, long hairs are maintenance, right? I know it's about One Piece, but fuck it, right? Did I mess it up? I don't care. 62. We can introduce Crocus. Crocus, we know who he is. He is the doctor. The doctor of whom? The doctor of freaking Goldie Roger. Weirdly speaking, it's only a couple episodes, which is a complete arc. But technically speaking, what is really cool here is kind of like a complete filler arc. So we're not really getting all we need from it, but it's like, okay, well, in between. And I do like the experience in between. So when you look at it, you look at the Foxy crew, you look at the Ring Island. So those are important, right? We have the sad story of Laboon. Laboon plays, I don't know if Laboon plays a role, right? But the sad story of Laboon, which is the crew that left him, when you realize who the crew is and how important one of the member of the crew is, it's absolutely phenomenal. to Wednesday. What the? Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. We have the. I'm not gonna talk about. I wrote down who I was gonna talk about, but no. We have the introduction of Mr. Wednesday and Vivi. Mr. Wednesday is actually cool characters. The Vivi. Okay, so Mr. Wednesday is actually pretty cool. Vivi is important. So remember Vivi, okay? That Luffy promised to Laboon, and it's super nice because Laboon, see, it's weird because the way Luffy acts, and again, there's kind of like a couple. Narratively speaking, the promise he makes to Laboon is not important, but the consequences or the ramification of the promise is actually pretty cool. So, for example, Laboon sees Luffy as a worthy pirate because she was following pirates, or the way he's acting with Laboon makes Crocus think about Roger the Pirates, which now is the third time that we refer to Luffy as Roger the Pirates. Now, if you don't know, if I'm gonna spoil it for you guys, I'm gonna spoil it. If you don't know it, for the longest time, people thought Goldie Roger was the father of Luffy. So every time that is mentioned that Luffy reminds me of Goldie, you're reinforcing the idea that Luffy was supposed to be his kids, right? So it adds up, and it's kind of crazy because it's complex, but in a beautiful way. So Goldie Roger becoming the king of the pirates, if Luffy is his son, does that make him the prince of pirates? And if he died, then they become king of the pirates again, right? Or just like, this is a worthy family. And also, what is also important is the Will of D, right? So you see Luffy's family. Now, I'm not going to get into family. Okay, I'm going to get into family. Fuck you. His father Dragon, super strong. His father Garp, super strong, right? But you look at another character called Ace that you don't know yet. He's the son of Goldie Roger. Ace is super strong, right? So the character, they have this crazy family. If you look at the Vinsmoke family, which is Sanji's family, they're crazy strong, all of them. So there's a large part of what family does or how important family can be, right? We have the explanation of the log pose, how the Grand Line works, but it's also the explanation of a eternal pose. Now, what is kind of sad with that is because Nami was the navigator. With the eternal pose, you don't really need a navigator, right? But then they fix that problem in this today. And today, like episode 68, I believe. Yeah. So we got 65, 66, 67. We have the intro to Whiskey Peak. Which is really cool because we learned that Whiskey Peak is the way to go because we learned that from Vivi and Mr. Wednesday, right? It's super cool. I love Whiskey Peak. Even though there's a lot of things that I don't like about Whiskey Peak, I do like how small it is. Once again, it's 55, 50, 65, 66, 67, so 3 episodes. But the Laboon is 2.5, which actually becomes great. So I wouldn't even call Whiskey Peak I don't even call it an arc. We have the intro to Whiskey Peak, right? They have this party, right, to welcome in pirates, right? And then you're not sure as to why you welcome pirates. So when you do understand why, it's actually pretty obvious. But if you don't understand, for fuck's sakes, Ink. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Don't blink. It's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. I'm doing well. Having a wonderful day on this 15th February 2025. Sorry. We're doing videos right now, so might as well play Art Knight and Tokyo Ghoul. Art Knight, I think we're pretty much done, but Tokyo Ghoul we aren't. Now we're playing a second time Art Knight because we have a lot of videos to do. Not a lot of videos, but still. It's gonna be more so about Tokyo Ghoul because Tokyo Ghoul we have something that is kind of important to do. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's go, baby, let's go. So we have 50 ATC. That's enough for a couple. No. 3? Okay, that's cool. I'll take 3. We need a lot of resources, and since it's ultra rare, oh, I got a text. I got a text from someone. Rope Bunny. Shout out to Rope Bunny. Super cool girl. Figures in French. Baroque work when you see Baroque work. Oh. Okay, so I have to close this because you kind of hear it. Okay, good. Perfect. because I'm listening to radio at the same time and I want people to hear it. Okay, cool. We have the intro to Whiskey Peak, right? Baroque work and Laboon, when you know what's up, it's kind of boring. So, for example, right, you watch Arlong, super interesting. You watch the Barati, you know how it's ending, but it's actually super cool, right? I don't think there's a person out there that likes One Piece that didn't like the Zoro fight. You watch Alabasta, it's still pretty cool. Baroque work, it's like, okay, well, when I know why they're doing that, it's not cool. However, it doesn't really matter because the Whiskey Peak is 3 episodes, right? We have the intro, right? We have the for okay, so they do a fake party for the bounty, right? We have Baroque work intro, Baroque work, which is kind of not necessarily important, but kind of important. So they're important because we're on the Grand Line. So East Blue is considered the most peaceful of the 4 seas. And when it comes, it's like a criminal organization, and it's kind of cool that the first thing we do is it's like a Team Rocket. I wouldn't say it's like an Akatsuki, but most of their employees are super weak. So more so like Team Rocket. What is really cool about that is there's not really a story there. There's not really they don't know each other, right? So there's no link. You don't get to see how many member there is. It's just a small int, which is really cool. Apart from Jesse and James, you don't know Team Rocket, which is cool also, right? We have the Vivi, what is involved with Baroque work, right? Luffy, I don't like Luffy in this one. Luffy acts weird. Luffy acts dumb, and I know Luffy's supposed to be goofy, but he's actually endangering and I fucking hate. I'm gonna be honest. I fucking hate Luffy in this. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So, for example, he wants to fight with Zoro because he thinks Zoro attack people when he know that Zoro's a good guy. Or he has to run. He picks up Usopp and Sanji and drags them. It's not the way you treat your Nakama, right? It's stupid because you had this Luffy who's a super good captain and freaking Arlong Peak, and then you have Luffy who's dumb here. You know. Oops. I want to make sure that we're not listening. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Good. I don't know why she's sending a message, but okay. What does she want? What? Okay. She's a cool girl, but I'm just confused. I sound like an asshole, huh? I'll text her later. I'm sorry. I'm just making a video right now. So yeah, so I like the Luffy that's a good captain, not the Luffy that we're seeing here. Luffy acts different, treat his crew like shit, right? We're going to Alabasta to help Vivi, right? So there's actually a really cool scene here. We learned that the Baroque we learned that Vivi, which is again, Vivi is the most important part. Vivi is the most important part of the whole arc. Even Alabasta, to a certain extent, right? So we know that she had a problem with her country and she's trying to help. And the biggest, so she's the princess of Alabasta, which is an arc. And the biggest threat to Alabasta is Crocodile. Crocodile being a bad guy. Crocodile being one of the 7 worlds of the sea. So kind of the same thing as Arlong, but stronger. I don't know. I remember if Crocodile's a Yonko or not. I don't remember. I think he is, but I'm not sure. Wait, who's the first Yonko? I know there's Kaido. There's Shanks. There's Big Mom. I think the 4th Yonko is Jinbei, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that's not matter. So, Vivi being this important, she infiltrated the Baroque works. So, Baroque works are the enemies. Because the Baroque works are the enemies, we want Vivi. She's a friend. The enemies of my enemies are my friends. Kind of shit. Type shit. It's kind of cool. We learned that the next city is Little Garden, which is one of my favorites. We have Zoro testing his new sword, which is cool because Zoro tested his sword with the filler, but not really in Laboon. So this is a real new chance to test out his new sword, which we remember that in Logtown they got 2 new swords. So that's kind of cool. We know that Shisui, which is a demon sword. You guys remember this scene where it was like this, and he throws the weapon. I don't think I talked about this, but super cool scene. He take this. He said, "Oh, this is a curse sword." He said, "Okay, let's test this curse." And he throw the sword, and if the sword falls and he cut his arm, the curse beat him. It's like a sense of dominance also. We get to see that's his new sword. What's actually really cool, what I really like here is the fact that Vivi is really loved. So you may not like Baroque work, but Baroque work has actually some cool people. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of the people. So for example, there's Mr. Tree, where they have the bombers. He can take. I think his whole body is bombed. I don't remember. It's been a week already. And you got Mr. Kilo, which is Mr. Kilo, which he does, which is also cool. Give me a sec. Okay, so now we're gonna be adding this. Okay, cool. Okay. Don't blink, it's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to part. I don't know which one. So to go, we have our organization boss to do, and that's pretty much it. So let's enjoy it. Yeah, there you go. So, you see that Vivi, and the second, it's only good narrative because you establish that Vivi's a good person, right? When you establish that Vivi's a good person, what happened is, okay, Vivi's a good person, so I'm gonna be able to help her. And then it's funny because, in your organization, people will help her. So there's this muscle woman, right, that Zoro fights, and it's funny because Sanji wouldn't fight her, which established that Sanji wouldn't fight women, which is actually important in the story, but Zoro fights her. And what is the really cool part about that is when Mr. Tree and Kilo Woman, which are three of the top brass of Baroque work, they're endangering people. They're endangering Vivi. The muscle woman is like, no, I'll protect Vivi. We end up realizing that the mayor of Whiskey Peak was actually a person that was really close to Vivi. So you know that Vivi has some allies and people care about Vivi, which ultimately speaking is kind of cool because she's a princess, right? But nobody knows that she's a princess. So she doesn't have leadership because she's a princess. She has leadership because she inspires respect, right? Which is actually important. And the last thing is, I did lie. The reason why we're helping Vivi also is because Vivi told us that the main bad guy was Crocodile. Because now we know his identity, right? We're gonna get killed. So they're kind of like, oh, we have to stop him. And we're having a alliance, if you will. We got 68 till 70, which is one of my favorite episodes. So I talked about before, and I really like the fact that they put that. For some people, it's filler, but I actually really like that. So we had the Buggy, the adventure of Buggy finding his body, I guess. Now we have Kobe. So in the manga, Kobe does get trained. It becomes an admiral. It becomes really, really strong. So it's kind of cool because we have Kobe that becomes he climbs the rank of being a marine, and you got Luffy who climbs the rank of being a pirate. So it's the two friends that are going not necessarily against each other, but they're going different paths. And it's how far can they go? Which is really, really, really cool because we like Kobe. So we have Kobe, and it's super sweet to it because we have Kobe side story. We see that he is motivated. He's still thinking about Luffy a lot and how to be a cool pirate. But my favorite thing is there's a moment there where it's actually really interesting. We see Kobe working out because Kobe's like weak, right? But then he meets Luffy and becomes kind of stronger, right? Mentally speaking. So that's why we're seeing train a lot. So there's a kind of a wanted poster. So the Luffy gets the newspaper, and there's a picture of Kobe and he's working out. He's in the picture of Marines like, yo, this is Kobe. He's moving on the ranks, right? Which is really, 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 really cool. It's a really cool thing. So the important part here is that Kobe is moving on. We see him train a lot. We see that he's a friend of M. Post, which is the guy from the son of Captain Morgan, the asshole who had a wolf attack people. Yeah, he's an asshole, but now he's a good guy, I guess. He's lacking motivation. He's always complaining. And Kobe's like, yo, you're my only friend here. Make an effort, make an effort, make an effort. And then MMO's like, no. My father, if I want to be a Marine, my father will help me. Remember that his father was a great Marine. He wasn't a great Marine, though. We thought he was a great Marine, but he wasn't. He captured a Captain Kuro. Then we realized that he captured a Captain Kuro because Captain Kuro hypnotized him into thinking that he got captured, right? Kind of different, isn't it? So yeah, so that's a big no-no. That's a big no-no. So we got this, we got that. We have Emepo father who gets arrested, right? And Emepo realizes that his father's an asshole. realize just how bad his father is, and it's like, yo, this is my role model. I have to move. So because Hemmepo is realize that his father is no good, he gets the motivation to really help, right? So Garp is like, yo, Garp is there. Garp, Admiral Garp, one of my favorite Marines. I think it's a lot of people favorite Marines. It's actually really important in the story. So Luffy father is Dragon, but Dragon abandoned Luffy. Dragon abandons Luffy, doesn't give a fuck about Luffy, right? Now, the interesting part with that is Luffy understands his father doesn't want anything to do with it, and his answer to all of that is what? His answer is, okay, well, Garp's gonna take care of me, and Garp is the adoptive father of Luffy, which is really cool. And then you really learn that the most important part, most important characters, like Luffy, Ace, which is one of the important characters, and another character called Sabo, they were all treated together. They were all like brothers, if you will. They're not really brothers, but they act like brothers. So Luffy was trained by Garp, which is a Marine. Ace was trained by Whitebeard, which is another pirate captain. And and Sabo was trained by a dragon, right? So they all had these father figures. So Garp is actually really liked here. And Garp, it's funny because you're not supposed to know that Garp is the father figure of Luffy. So then he heard Kobe talk about Luffy and said, yo, Luffy's a pirate, right? You're not supposed to like the pirates. He's like, yeah, I don't care. He's my friend. And Garp really cares about Luffy because it's like his son. It's like, okay, well, if you like Luffy, I'm gonna train you. He doesn't say that like that. It's like, oh, I'm gonna that secret goal. I'm gonna train you. But it's intended. When you know the story, you know that Garp really cares about Luffy, and he has a chance to help a friend of Luffy. So that's why he take care of Kobe. I don't think he gives a fuck about Meppo, but he gives a fuck about Luffy, right? We see them training hard, right? It's super nice because you see how Garp take care of them, and he's really strict with them, and that's why Kobe's gonna become a great Marine, hopefully. Now we're moving on to 70 already. So 70 we enter Little Garden, which is the island of the Giants of Elbaf. Fun thing is the manga now is an Elbaf. The manga is an Elbaf, and Elbaf is the before last. There's Elbaf. I think that's Riftel. Yeah, we mentioned Riftel. Riftel is the end of the Grand Line. It's possibly where the One Piece is, right? So that's kind of crazy. So now we have Elbaf. So we enter the Little Garden, right? And it's super cool because we have the team separating in two. It's like, oh, we should explore the island. We should explore the island. Let's see if there's people there. Let's see if we can get some help. Because that's actually interesting. So they introduce a system called the eternal logs, like I said. So the eternal log is, I'll give you the way. If you follow the log, you'll get to the next island, right? And that's what you want. If you're able to get that, you're able to move. Otherwise, it's very hard. The navigating in the Grand Line. There's no rules. It's really hard, right? So I forgot to talk about Crocus a lot. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna talk about Crocus. Crocus was take care of Laboon. I don't think is it important. Well, he was the doctor in Goldie Rogers, so that's the most important part you get. It's not like really. Oh, spoiler. So we have the super cool moments where there's two teams. There's Usopp and Nami, and then there's Zoro, Luffy, and Vivi, and they're going in different parts, trying to find people to get some help. Because if they can get in Eternal Pose, they don't have to wait. So Little Garden, the fun fact is the post, the log is a year. So you have to wait a year until you have you register the next one. They don't have a year to waste. So like, okay, well, fuck you, we're just gonna do it, which is actually really important. We have the Zoro and Sanji were left to defend. They're going merry, but you know them, and this is the first competition, which is cool because they're like brothers. These two, they always they hate each other, but they respect each other. And I think the best part about Sanji is Zoro is in Wano, which is the arc before Egghead, which is the one where the anime is. The manga is at Elbaf, the anime is at Egghead, where they're fighting somebody, and Sanji is fighting a swordman. He's like, yo, the swordman on my crew is way stronger than you. Way stronger than you. You have no chance of beating me, right? And Sanji and Zoro said the same thing. There's a cook in there's a stupid cook in my crew they'll take care of you. So we have this first moments of the competition, which is hunting, right? And even then, spoiler. So we have two giants. They meet two giants. Grogi, and I don't remember the other guy's name. But they fight, and they're best friend, and they're constantly competing and competing and competing, and then their first thought was to hunt for food, just like Zoro and Sanji. So it's kind of like a hint of the friendship, right? They hunt dinosaur, right? And really simply put, this is a really cool way of understanding the world of Little Garden. So okay, we have Little Garden. We know how it is. We know how it is because we saw Sanji and Zoro hunting, right? And they're both super strong, so you think they're okay, right? We have the Strava divided by two. We see the giants, right? They have a reason to fight, right? And it's cool because the reason to fight is like, yo, I just want to be the greatest warrior in Elbaf. So Elbaf is it's a giant kingdom. There's a lot of giants, and it's like the Nords. And it's really like the Nords because now that we have more information about Elbaf, we understand how much of the North it is. So little really simple thing. Like I'm gonna give you an example. For example, one of the king there is Loki. Loki is in Norse mythology, right? We're talking about Drakar, which is their boat, which is in Viking, right? So we know it's their Viking. We know it's Norse mythology, right? I don't remember if there was a Greek mythology or I didn't get it. Maybe in Nell, but I'm not sure. So yeah, so that's really super cool, and it's cool because Usopp. So everybody on the boat was like, "Yo, I want to be at this. I want to find the all blue. I want to be the best swordsman. I want to be the draw a world map. I want to be the king of the pirates." And then Usopp's like, "I want to be a braver of the sea." And when he meets the giants, like, "Yo, those are braver of the sea. Those are what my inspiration to be is, right?" And it's cool because we're gonna have a more Usopp, when he's gonna be in doubt, he's gonna be thinking about the giants and like, okay, well, I'm motivated, right? And it's super cool because we're seeing the battle of the giants. It's super cool because we're seeing why they're fighting, and you see that they're both good people. You see that they're both good people, and until at the end, Baroque Works gets involved. They had a bomb in the alcohol, so to do like, hey, we're a nice guy. The Straw has to give alcohol to the giants, because they give alcohol to the giants. They're like, you know what? We're good. We're good. We're good people. Like, okay, but you betrayed me, basically. 73. Baroque Works are happy they got the two giants. So the first Baroque Works, once again, the first giant was when he had the alcohol, right? And then he had the second one. And it's kind of funny because the Baroque Works are constantly made by bounty hunters. So at first it was like, okay, yes, they're trying to stop the Straw Hats, but they did kill the two giants for the bounty, right? The giants, they have a battle, and the one that was injured because he had a hole. And it's kind of cool because we saw Laboon was a giant whale, and Crocus was a doctor inside because outside it was too big. You could actually heal from the inside. So then when the giant gets hurt by the alcohol and he gets hurt on the inside, it's actually cool because like, okay, well, it makes sense, right? Okay. One of the giants lose. We have the reveal of the Baroque Work, right? Explosive guy. Okay, so I this is how I wrote. I didn't write it properly. So the Baroque Work, we understand that they're behind it. There's 4 people. There's the explosive guy, right, which actually is super strong. There's was guy, number 3. Number 3 is gonna be able to transform people into wax culture. He's actually really strong. And we got the Kilo girl. There's the painter also. The painter, we're gonna be checking out her power a bit after. Dude, I get people asking me to like stuff. I do not know you, dude. I do not know you. I want to help you out, but people are annoying. I get every hours. I get multiple people tell me, "Hey, like this, like this, like this, like this." Dude, you understand that if I like, you gotta keep doing the same thing, and if I give you a like, you keep doing the same thing. You're never gonna grow. Right? Don't you want to earn those likes? You don't have to ask for likes. You don't have to ask for views. You don't have to ask for a subscriber. Fuck that. Just do some good work and hopefully, get somewhere. That's all I have to say. Fuck. Stop complaining, Ink. Okay. Cool. We got 74. Only one giant, which is easy work. So see, the giants, they had like good bounty, but the two of them together would have been too strong. So the wax guy says he's happy because he's like, yo, we only have one giant to do, which he really destroyed it, and he makes quick work of Zoro, Nami, and Vivi. Right, he puts them in his wax culture. So he puts them, and they have it's like a poison, right? It's slowly killing them. And if Luffy waits too long, because we still have Luffy and Usopp, right? they take too long, they're gonna be wax culture. And the cool thing is, and the Baroque works, it's like the avant-garde. So they all have number. The closest your number is, the better you are, right? So the avant-garde are the same concept in Bleach, right? So we have this. We have the the prisoner. Yeah. Only Kuro is left. Yeah, I made a joke about that. So they're in a bad position, and it's not sure if, I don't think Luffy, even though he's the strongest, alone can fight against the bomber guy, the killer woman, and the painter. The painter is actually really good. The wax guy is actually really good. We're on a schedule because the wax is slowly killing the people, so we have to hurry up, right? Luffy is blocked by wax, and it's kind of cool because when you think about this is cool because One Piece is very, how should I put it? One Piece is very it's very clever in how it does things. It's very clever. So when we see that, we're like, oh, okay, cool. I see what you did there, and it actually points to a deeper meaning, which is, okay, well, I see what you did there, and I understand that this is a smart way to imagine something. Oh fuck. There you go. I have a bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, I took a bathroom. It was a rush. Now we have to hurry because it's a live event in an hour and a half, and I don't want to miss it. And I have a lot of things to do before. So yes, 75. Let's restart 75. We're on a schedule, right? Because the Rex is slowly gaining over Zoro, which is actually cool because Zoro doesn't do a pause. Nami and Vivi, right? And it's funny because a lot of people will call Vivi one of the Straw Hats, right? And to a certain degree, she is. But this is just to show how much they care about her, right? So they don't want us to die, and we're supposed as a viewer to say, okay, well, I kind of like Vivi, I don't want her to die, which is actually really cool because it's an area that kind of forces you to like certain people and dislike certain people, right? We're gonna see in another episode, which is the next one, which is Banshee, I think. Yeah. So cool. So we have the painting, right? The color that affect the mood. There's yellow for laughter. There's green for chill. There's blue for sadness. And there's red for like a bull. And actually a really cool way to do things. It's not as interesting as the wax, but it's actually a really cool devil fruit. Right? Why it's cool is because the guy will actually do an armor of wax and will be like, yo, I'm the baddest motherfucker alive. When he isn't, but still, which is actually pretty cool. We have the continuation of the combat, which is really good. Possibly the best combat there is so far. Luffy is still useless because of the painting, right? But Usopp managed to save the day, which is a feature for Usopp because my boy usually doesn't save the day. And I'm just saying this, I'm saying nothing, right? It's actually pretty cool. People which fight on par, okay, is able to melt the wax. Usopp is able to melt the wax, which is the weak point of the devil fruit. Therefore, freeing people which fight on par with Baroque work. We're talking about Zoro, Sanji, Zoro who has a new weapon, and it's kind of cool. It's really sweet. It's really sweet moments. Once again, a narrative to push the fact that we like Vivi. We're gonna have her duo attack. Her and Nami gonna duo attack to finish one of the guy. They end up ending the three of them, which is really cool. We have Sanji, who managed to find a phone, right? Which is super cool because this phone is going to be very important later on, right? We have a super funny moments where the wax guy, he runs away and is hidden, right? And he's like, yo, you'll never find me. And he creates wax figure, which is actually really smart of Oda to do. But Luffy find him right away. And this is actually super funny, but there's also a really cool point where Oda's like, the guy's like, how did you find me, Luffy? Instinct. So he proved that Luffy has good instincts, which actually quite important. We have Sanji who actually talks to Crocodile, right? And what he's trying to do is he's trying to get Crocodile to be like, yo, don't have to worry about the Straw Hats, I killed them. But then he fucks up, and Crocodile is like, no, I don't trust you, right? So he's even more angry, and now he has the Straw Hats in his radar, right? At least the cook tried and wrote. We got the giants, right, are inspired to hunt again, which is really cool because there's really sweet moments where the the giants are accusing each other, but then no, a giant wouldn't do that. So there's pride. They trust each other even though they're enemies, and then they want to hunt again, which is really cool. But there's always the fact that they were friends, and I think that's really important because in this Whiskey Peak we had a fight between Luffy and Zoro. Later on, we have a fight between Luffy and Sanji. We have a fight between Luffy and Usopp, right? So I think it's important to show that they're still homies. Instead of fighting, they're able to leave, right? To leave. I wrote to leave Elbaf, but I didn't mean that. They're able to leave because the giants they use their weapon, right? So they pushed forward and they really helped them. We have Nami that gets stung by a sick bug, which is actually super important. 78, we have a really cool interesting moments. So 78, we're gonna do 78, 79, and that's it. I'm done after that. So 78, what is important about 78 is we see that Nami is kind of sick, and the way Oda wrote it is brilliant. Like Nami, although she's not strong, she's the navigator, right? And because we cannot navigate, we're stuck in the sea, and we're able to die. Like there's moments where she's sick and she cannot go, and the moment that she wakes up, she's like, "Yo, move around." Then there's like a fucking cyclone or typhoon that could have killed the Straw Hats, right? So we got this moment. But the second moment that we have, which is actually quite important, is that because Nami is sick, they have to find a cure. But then there's a newspaper that shows that Alabasta is doing really wrong. We learn more about the problem. Alabasta has a lack of water because it's a desert, and we learned that there's a lot of rebellion that are thinking that the royals are the bad guy, when the royals are not the bad guy. The bad guy is a crocodile, right? We're gonna see why after that. He has a devil fruit that helps him. But yeah, so they think that the royals are hiding the water. So a lot of people are going against the royal, and before it was balanced because the royal had more people than the rebellion. The rebellion now has more. Because the rebellion has more, they're gonna overpower the royals. So Vivi's like, yo, I have to go. But then they're like, yo, we have to save Nami. So there's this quest, and then they agree to help with Nami, which is actually really cool. You have 79 right now, and this one is the introduction of Waffle. There's no notes, so it's a bit harder. There's the introduction of Waffle, which is the villain of Drum Island. Drum Island is an island between Little Garden and Alabasta, right? And the cool thing is they're in research of a doctor, and luckily they'll find a doctor there. I'm not going to say who, but we love him. We love him. So we have the pressure of Waffle and Devil Fruit, which is eating everything that moves. They get attacked. They get really strong. They're really strong because one of the other guy has a Devil Fruit that make it snow. So they're hiding there. And we have the entrance to Drum Island, and it's the first time so far that we had a except for Orange Town. It's the first time that the people are like, yo, no pirates here, no pirates here. And then you learn that they don't like pirates because of Waffle. So actually really cool, and we enter Drum Island. So with that being said, this is the end. I love you guys. Thank you for watching this long video, but again, we did 62 to 78, 79. So that's 62, 79. So that's 17 chapters. Holy shit.